What's going on, everybody? Hope y'all having a great week. All right, so I want to talk today about, I think it's called, I think you pronounce it Kintsugi or something like that. It's like this Japanese thing of, of taking like clay pots or, I guess anything that's broken, and whenever they're broken, shattered into a million pieces, it's the process of taking this like gold like glue stuff and pretty much gluing them together, and then they become, much more beautiful than they were beforehand, right? You take a regular, you know, uh, glass mug, it's broke, then you glue it together with all this gold, and it looks really fancy afterwards. And now it's even better than it was, even though it's not what the original whole piece it was, but because it was broken and put together with something that made it more beautiful. So it's like kintsugi or something like that. So that kind of stood out to me recently in today's theme. For whatever reason, all morning I've been thinking about this. So I wanted to check it out a little bit and go into and what stood out to me about it is that I was thinking about it in our lives, right? We become shattered, broken people at some point in our life, and more than likely it's going to happen many times in our life. We're going to hit that rock bottom. We're gonna have those devastating times and all that kind of stuff. And it's what you do in those situations and what you allow yourself, who you allow yourself to become, what you allow yourself to do, how you allow yourself to think and believe, and all those things that are really going to determine like how you deal with that situation, where you go the next day, the next time, and all the stuff that goes with that. So my thought process behind this is that whenever we are, we're a vase, whatever, we're the clay pot, and that's us as in, you know, very sometimes that's us. We go through life and we eventually end up getting destroyed. We're broken into a million pieces. We're not going to be able to glue ourselves together, and even if we do, those cracks are still there. Now, now when we allow things like in this case, my thought process is when we allow God to come in and to put us back together, He's that gold glue kind of stuff. He's the part that brings us back together, makes us fit perfectly the way we were, and makes us even better than we were. He makes us even stronger than we were before, even when we were quote unquote whole. He makes us even more beautiful in that moment because it's Him that we allow into those broken pieces, and we allow Him to be that glue. So when I was thinking about that, I was like, okay, if during this process, things are great, break, God comes in, He's gluing us. He's the one who's the absolute magnificence of life and of us whenever we go through those times. And it's, are we going to try and do it on our own, or are we going to allow Him to come in and put us back together? Because only He's the one who can actually do that. So are we going to, are we going to try to glue ourselves together with some basic crap? Or are we going to let, the Father come in and use that ultimate golden gorilla glue type of stuff that holds us together, will never break, and makes us even better than we could be? Because not regular glue, it's whatever, it's clear. But this golden stuff, this stuff that is so it's so strong that it makes you even stronger than you were. It makes you even more beautiful than you were. It makes you even better than you were. It makes you more so all the good things than you were. And that's kind of how life is in our whenever we are going through these situations. We try to do it ourselves, or we allow, if we let God come in and do that with us, we allow Him to come into those different difficult situations. We allow Him to put us together. We allow Him to take on the struggle. We give the burdens over to Him. He says it multiple times throughout the Bible to lean on Him, not on our understanding. Take on His, take on His yoke. Blah blah blah. The whole nine yards. And because He can do it, we can't. So let's let Him do it because He can and He wants to, and He kind of already did it. It's just whether we allow Him to do it. So a few things that had, kind of stood out to me was, so William Jones, he's got one that goes, a quote, 'cause I love quotes. The greatest discovery of my generation is that a human being can alter his life by altering his attitudes. We're in control of what we do in our life, right? Whether we allow God in or not, whether we are going to actually take that step forward or not in life, whether we actually want to get that job and we go and apply for the application and position, and we go and talk with the manager, or we don't. We just say, I want it. And when they call me, then I can, then I'll go up and do the job or something. we still have, we were given free will in this world. And that free will is to have God in it or not. That free will is also our everyday decisions. Waking up, when we wake up, the food we eat, the TV we watch, the memes we laugh at, all these things we it's our own free will. So what are we doing with our free will? And are we expecting things to be handed to us for whatever God unknown reason people believe that that's a thing? Is that it's just going to fall in your lap. But it's not because we have to be the ones willing to put in that time and effort. You can pray 24/7, but no one's going to answer prayers to someone who's not willing to get up and go sweat for it. We were told that we weren't told that your prayers would be answered, just because we want them. But it's because we are willing to pick up and carry our cross daily. We're willing to go through those sacrifices daily and deal with those troubles and get closer to God and work on ourselves and build ourselves because we don't just want something and get it. We have to work for it in this world, and that is our free will. It is you have to actually put in that time and effort to work for something. Voltaire has one. He says, "Every man is guilty of all the good he did not do." What are you doing in your life? Are you actually wanting to do and become something in someone? Are you wanting something more than the bare minimum that this world's telling us that we should be at? Are we doing more or are we just wanting more but not willing to do the work for it? Because you are right where you should be, and that's right where you are putting in the effort of. So if you're not putting in any effort, much less any extra effort, because to do the bare minimum is its own thing. We're not getting into the bare minimum of surviving. I have to cook, I have to clean, I have to, I have to go to work, I have to be in bed on time, I have to, all these things. It's like, yeah, it's a bare minimum. That's called life. Get used to it. Then there's more. You have to do more if you want more. So if you want to make more money, if you want to have a more comfortable lifestyle, if you want to have a better paying job, if you want to, et cetera, you have to be willing to put in even more. So it doesn't matter if you're, at work all day for 8, 10, 12, 16 hours a day, you still got to be putting in more if you want more. That's kind of how life is. It's hard. Welcome to it. Viktor Frankl, when we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. So we're not going to be able to overcome the situation. You can only control yourself. The Stoic principles, you can't control outside events, only yourself, right? Marcus Aurelius. That's not the direct quote, but that's the idea is that you can't control the outside world. You can only control how you react to it. So with that Stoic trait, thought process, belief is that you can't control the outside world, nothing and no one. You can't control any of it. You can only control how you respond to the situation. So how are you responding to situations and are you doing them in a good, positive, healthy way or not? And if so, how can you change that? Because there's this shocking, crazy thing that people cannot seem to understand in this world is that they can change. People think that just because that they grow up and are a certain way, that that's how they are. You weren't like that like this certain way beforehand. You didn't grow up this exact certain way. You were a product of your life, of your environment, of how you grew up, of your friends, of your family, and conversations, and blah, 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 blah. You're a product of everything over your entire life, and that's where you're at today. So if you want to change who you are today, you have to be willing to change. You have to be willing to think that, okay, there's something more, there's something different. I can change. We can all do this. I know because that was me. I was one pathetic, useless way for the majority of my life. And then I was like, oh, wait, look at that. I let God in. Oh, he revealed some stuff to me. Oh, I can change. Oh, I have to put in the past several years of work, very intense work, every day, 7 days a week, constantly working on myself and changing and growing and learning. Okay, I thought I was this way because I just grew up this one way and I thought I would never be anything different. But then I realized God was able to actually do a whole lot more than that because I gave it to him and he revealed things to me and I was able to change. So you can change no matter who you are, where you're at. I don't care how low you think you are. I don't care how crappy you think your life or the situations or any of that is. You can absolutely change. You have to be willing to. Viktor Frankl has another one that says, when a person can't find a deep sense of meaning, they distract themselves with pleasure. Huge, absolutely big thing. Today, this world is all about instant gratification, social media, and swiping, Uber Eats, all this crap where it's like a press of a button, you don't have to work for anything, and you distract yourself. This world is full of distractions, and that's how Satan works. He's really good. He doesn't need you to not he doesn't need to keep you from doing a lot of stuff. You can go to church all day, but if he can keep you from actually believing in what the Bible says and actually doing what it says and actually choosing, a godly lifestyle and relationship and all these things, if he can keep you from actually doing the things, then he's pretty much winning at that point with you because you can go to church all day, but it doesn't say in the Bible, go to church and you're good. It's follow the commandments, sacrifice. Uh, you know, uh, Sacrifice your flesh, carry your cross. It says to do the hard things. It didn't say just show up for an hour, sing a few hymns, and listen to a few verses, and you're on the clear. So that's its own thing. Get out of the distractions up. The world's full of them. They're entertaining. They are. That's why they are a lie. That's why they're distractions. Why they are entertaining. Why they keep you where you're at. Because it's nice to sit there and watch uh, be on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok and all this crap. And then you just get distracted. You forget what you're supposed to be doing. You forget that you can actually get up and go for a walk, get some sun, go and do something with yourself. One quote I mean, I don't know who said it, or I don't even remember when I heard it. It was years ago, but one that has become like a core essence of what I believe of my every single day is be the person you wish you had when you were younger. And I didn't really have anyone in my life that, even though I had like grew up with my family and everything, and I had my uh, brothers, sisters, parents, I had that, but there was still nothing there, that we didn't spend time together and do anything. So I didn't actually have that like growing up of having someone that would teach and train and help me and pour into me. Like didn't have any of that, because I lived in front of the TV for literally the 15 years of my life. Really 19 actually. So I straight up lived in front of a TV, played video games, did nothing but that for 19 years of my life. And that's it. Like didn't do anything, didn't work out, didn't eat healthy, didn't have a relationship with God, didn't go out, didn't have friends, didn't, had I had horrible hygiene. I did all the absolute dumb worst things that you could do because I just lived in the distractions literally all day, every day. So find be or not find but if you can find someone who's willing to pour into you and to help you out and to give you some guidance, great. They're all over. If you're going to be on social media, at least find some people that can get you pointed in the right direction and some things for you to work on. But that's one thing. Be better. Be who you wish you had. What do you wish you had? I wish I had a teacher, a mentor, someone who put time and effort and it teaching me things that mattered in life. No one gives a crap about sports or video games or what's going on in Hollywood. It's useless. Only if you're completely deranged and you think that that's interesting. By all means, enjoy it and enjoy that lie. But what actually matters, your health, your relationship with God, you being successful, whatever that looks like for you, you being well-rounded, you being educated, you being a genuine person, you having good characteristics and good humane qualities. That's great stuff to have, and that's what every human on the planet needs to know and have. But no, didn't really get that growing up. So if I didn't get that, I want to be that. So now I get to go learn all those things on my own and find people who do know that stuff and get in circles with them. Tim Grover, if you think the cost of winning is too high, wait until you get the bill from regret. I love that one because it really hits hard. What do you, what are you too scared to succeed? Life's all about failure. The most successful people are also the biggest failures in life because they failed more than you've ever even tried to get to where they're at. Because where they are at is a byproduct of all the amount of times that they failed. Uh, okay, so Joshua 1:9, have I not commanded you to be strong and courageous? Do not be terrified, nor dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. We're not meant to be afraid in this world. We're not meant to be scared of the situations of the hardships that come about. That's part of life. We're meant to face them and challenge them. But when you know that God's there, He's already gone before you, He's already won the battle. You're just kind of following in the His footsteps. You're just walking where He's already gone and the battle He's already won. It's a real big mental mindset shift that you have to go through to accept that kind of, I guess, belief of the fact that God already went, he already fought, he already did the thing, he already did all that for you. Ecclesiastes 9:10 was whatever your hand finds to do, do it with all your might. So if you're going to be doing something in this world, then why not do it for in its entirety? Why not do it with the utmost, I don't know, like ability or whatever your capabilities are in that moment. Now you're not going to grow up and be like, oh, I'm 16, I'm flipping burgers, and that's my absolute life. It's like you're going to start somewhere. Just you're going to do the sucky jobs. You're going to have those times and that's what your teens and 20s are even meant for, is for you to do the crappy jobs that suck, that are going to take a lot out of you, but you're going to learn a lot from them. So whatever you're going to end up doing in this world, do it with intentionality. It's as simple as that. Just be intentional about it. You might not like the job, you might not like have fun, coworkers, you might not, whatever, but you're going to learn a lot from it, and you're not going to be there forever unless you choose to, because you can. There are people who will sit there and flip burgers for their entire life, or people who just won't move up in the world, or just won't chase anything of more value or more uh, the next higher rung, if you will, you know, because they just choose to stay where they're at because they're comfortable. And you can do that, but know that you don't have to. Know that if you just put in that a little bit of extra work, you can get so much further in life. And then lastly is Galatians 6:9. A man reaps what he sows. And in short, this whole thing can kind of go into that. A man reaps what he sows. So what are you putting in? If you're going out to plant a field, are you planting, are you planting it all? Are you hoping that, maybe if you can just like sit on the couch and throw out a few seeds that maybe something will grow because you can put in the bare minimum effort? Or are you going to go out there and actually put in time and plant the seeds and then harvest it when it comes? Because guess what? You still got to put in a whole lot more work when the harvest is there, or when the crop is there, if you will, the analogy, you have to go harvest all the product, all the fruit that has come about. That's its own job in itself. That's a lot of work as well. It's not just planting the seed, it is harvesting. And there's a lot of time in between there, though. So, what are you doing? What are you willing to do? What are you taking your time and allowing for good and bad to come in and out? Just all these ideas. I don't know. Again, my mind's all over the place, so I think of a million things at once. But but just it kind of just sums up into, what you're making the choices. So what choices are you making, and where are they leading you? And if you're not making certain choices that are right or helping get you to where you want to be, can you make those choices different? How can you? Because again, it's all in your own free will. You have the ability to say, to do, to think, to believe, to act on whatever you want. So what are you doing that you might need to change? So, anyways, that was just kind of my thought process for the day. Hope that was helpful for any one of you guys. And again, that's just stuff that I've been learning over the past couple of years that's really helped me out. So, hope you all have